Hello and welcome to episode 7 of Road to Glory. That's a completely different thing. That's a FIFA thing. To Local to Global 2004. We got there in the end. We are on the 20th of November 2005. We are at Battle Song. In this episode, we're going to go through Battle Song, Snowstorm, Proving Ground, and Showcase. And let's have a quick look at how our finances did last month. We lost 146, but we spent a lot of money on merchandise, which we shouldn't be doing this month. We have, if I quickly show you, our merchandise is now growing business, which means that we are making $5 per popularity point per region from the mail order, and $2.50 per fan in attendance. It costs us $7.50 a month, but we were making that, so it's fine. The next level means that we would be making $3 per fan at live shows and $10 per popularity point, but it will cost $12.50, so I don't think we will be getting... I mean, I could do some quick maths, couldn't I? Just quickly. So that would be 150... Yeah, no, nowhere near making money on that. So we are going to get into the show. I will just quickly run through what happened at Fright Night. So we had Sarah Del Rey picking up the win against Erica Porter, and then Candice LeRae returning. We had Claudio and Steve Bradley defeating Sean Davari and Brody Lee, and it was Claudio who pinned Sean Davari, and Sean Davari was not happy about that at all. April Hunter then introduced her new client, and Tony Jones defeated B-Boy to win the Emerald Championship, but April Hunter and Tony Jones had absolutely awful chemistry, so we're going to have to change that. Let's give some people the night off, because I feel like we've had a few too many people. So, can I? Yeah, you're a star. You're a well-known B-Boy. I think we're going to give B-Boy the night off. Candice LeRae we want. Cheerleader Melissa. I basically just want to see who is a major... Claudio Castagnoli now is a major star. We can use him, that's fine. Greg Valentine... Mikey Henderson is a star. Sarah Del Rey will be using, obviously. Sean Davari will be using. Tony Jones we will be using. Lovely. So I think we're just going to give B-Boy the night off. We are going to go, of course, back to the Arco Recreation Hall in Idaho, which has a 200 capacity. We're expecting 122 fans tonight. We have added Scott Lost and Nadie Neidhart, who I didn't realise had booking score. They are all now in the booking team. Adam Pearce has awful chemistry with Scott Lost, and Steve Bradley has poor chemistry with Scott Lost. So we'll probably remove Scott Lost from the booking team. But let's spend... We've got 111. A big gamble. I mean, we'll use it, and a big gamble where Sarah Del Rey is the winner. I mean, Sarah Del Rey is definitely going to win. Kyle O'Reilly wants to come and hang out. Sure, he can come hang out. Tiffany and Steve Bradley butted heads backstage. Brody Lee entertained with a poker tournament. Steve Bradley, again, being brought before Wrestlers Court, but it had another small positive impact. Chris Chetty brought before Wrestlers Court. But again... had a small positive impact, so not the worst thing in the world. Greg Valentine ran 7 female students training and 9 male students, and we are going to address the locker room, and we're going to inspire. Let's frickin' do it. Last year we got a 41 on this show, and we had Tony Jones defeating B-Boy to retain the Emerald Championship. Sarah Del Rey defeated Candice LeRae. And yeah, let's just get into the show. I'm going to book this show, and I'll be back in just 1 second. And we're back. The show has been booked. We have one pre-show match, Sean Davari taking on JJ Perez. We then have new signing Nadie Neidhart taking on Sarah Del Rey. for the Emerald Women's Championship. We then have some post-match scenes. We've then just got a big tag team match. Yardi France and Claudio Castagnoli taking on Mikey Henderson and Brody Lee before an April Hunter promo. And then our main event, Tony Jones putting the Emerald Championship on the line against Adam Pearce. First match gets a 50. Hell yeah. Sean Daivari picks up the win in just over 10 minutes with a magic carpet ride. Sean Daivari had an in-ring performance of 60, which you love to see. JJ Preza 32, which at this point for like mid-cardy, lower mid-cardy guys, absolutely fine. We then move on to Sarah Del Rey taking on Natty Neidhart for the Emerald Women's Championship. And it is, of course, Sarah Del Rey who makes defense number 14 of her championship. This match got a 46. Natty Neidhart got a 43, which is really good. Sarah Del Rey getting a 49. Natty Neidhart's family legacy gimmick had a rating of poor. The creative finish was a failure, but that's kind of what we were expecting from the big gamble one. We've put another one in the main event as well, so we'll see how that one goes. We then have a pretty awful promo where after the bell rings, Candice LeRae's music hits and Del Rey throws her title down and looks up to the entranceway, egging her on to come and try and take her on. But Candice has swerved Del Rey and comes out from under the ring behind her and attacks, leaving Sarah Del Rey laid out in the middle of the ring. Candice LeRae really coming back with a vengeance, and you love to see it. We then have a lovely 40 rating from our slightly thrown together tag team match. And in about that had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. It is Yardi France and Claudio Castagnoli picking up the win when Claudio pinned Mikey Henderson. Brody Lee was the weak link. That's fine. He got a 27. Claudio gets a 42. Yardi France a 41. And Mikey Henderson getting a 38. The men's title storyline advanced and lost heat. I think I've got maybe Mikey Henderson and Yardi France in that still. I really need to take a look at the storylines and edit them all slightly. We then have April Hunter cutting just a wonderful promo, thank God. April Hunter says that her job with Tony Jones is complete. All she wanted to do was get the title off of B-Boy, and now she can set her sights on dethroning Sarah Del Rey and becoming the Emerald Women's Champion. Lovely. The men's storyline gained heat and then ended with this segment, and April Hunter did a masterful job of improvising interactions with the crowd. I just realised I didn't remove April Hunter from being Tony Jones' manager. Can I do that now quickly? Can I go to my roster and do that? Do I do it on April Hunter? Manages, don't manage. I don't know if this will actually make a difference for the show, but let's see. It did! Lovely. And Tony Jones makes defense number 1 of his Emerald Championship, defeating Adam Pearce in 13:48 with a holy shoot. This got a 52 rating, which is pretty good. The creative finish was a success. Tony Jones getting a 52, Adam Pearce getting a 34. You love to see it. A nice little ending to the show. Gets a 49, which isn't our best show ever, but it is better than last year's battle song, so that's good. We're in front of 120 people, so a couple below what we were expected, but that's fine. Our popularity has increased in one region. Let's give Natty Neidhart a boost. And I know he was on the pre-show, but Sean Daivari did so well that you've got to give it to him. Natty Neidhart seemed pleased, and Sean Daivari was pleased. We lost 229 on the night, which is actually really good for us. That's incredible. Our popularity did not go up, so we are still 2 away from no longer being insignificant and finally being just tiny, which amazing. I can't wait to be tiny. As a 6'4" person, I don't know what that's like. We're just going to go through. So finances so far, we're down 156 at the. Oh no, we're up 616. That was last month. We're up 616 at the moment, which means we might actually make like a pretty big profit. We're expected about 2,200. So we expect about another 800 from sponsors, which is pretty cool. So what I'm thinking is maybe after Showcase, so in the next episode, starting a monthly show that will eventually become the TV show, but we will not be anywhere close to being able to put on a TV show, but putting it in different regions to try and make it so that we can get a broadcasting deal. If we just look at the broadcasting real quick, we just look at any in the US and we just go to one that's like tiny. I think there is actually a YouTube USA which is tiny, and it also does Canada, so that's pretty good. But if we look at what we need 20. Oh, actually, only need 25 in one region for YouTube. Is there any other? I feel like there was somewhere it was like, maybe it was very small ones. Syndication. Yeah, you need 15 and 10 regions. That's not going to happen for a while. Tiny 20 popularity in 5 regions. So yeah, I think if we start to build up a base in other places, we can then, hopefully get to one of these slightly quicker. There is also one that's just in the northwest, or there was, maybe it's there, this one, which we need 30 popularity in the northwest to get that. So we're still quite a way off any maybe like a year away from being on YouTube, which is, not ideal, but fine. We'll get there eventually. There's no real rush, is there? So yeah, I am just gonna sim forward to Snowstorm, and I will see you there in just one little minute. Hello, and what was I doing like a proper intro thing there? We're back. Hello. I got up and I did some stuff while it was simming, and I clearly just forgot that we were like halfway through an episode. But that's fine. Let's have a little look at the news. Laz can work in new areas. Tony Jones is injured. No, Tony. Recent news. No, how do I look at injuries? I feel like that's one of the few that's not particularly easy to find. It's like talent something, like division roster, commentary events, show history, absences. Yeah, okay, 8 days, and he can work through it. That's okay. Tony, be careful. I need you. That's fine. Stu Sanders will join. BCW. They're 80,000 in debt. Should we just buy them? Just kidding. We don't have any money. Stu Sanders is in Noah on a handshake deal. We made $1,000 last month. Let's frickin' go. You'll love to see it. 600 from ticket sales, 2,000 from sponsors, 510. Literally over double the merchandise from the previous month. That upgrade was well worth it. We also spent a lot less on workers for the last show than we did previously. Show costs were slightly less for some reason. Marketing's the same. Merchandise, we spent a lot less because we weren't doing the upgrade. Production was also slightly less. Who knows why? I'm doing a big shrug. You can't see it, but I'm shrugging like bloody crazy. Sweet, let's get into the show. It's Snowstorm. We're in December. The next month we've got Proving Ground with the Proving Ground Battle Royal. We're not going to give anyone the night off. We are going to go 133 fans tonight. Fingers crossed. We're going to go to the Arco Recreation Hall again. Booking team 72. Yeah, I need to remove Scott Lost from this, and he's probably going to be angry at me. And I don't care. Sarah Doreen near certainty. You love to see that. Locker room incidents. Brody Lee and Chris Chetty were getting on very well. Natty Neidhart was brought before the judge. Natty. 7 students and 8 students. You love to see it. And let's do a bit of team bonding. Why not? We just created new tensions. Beautiful. So while I remember quickly, we're just going to go on the booking team, alter the booking team, and remove Scott Lost because he has got terrible. He's still happy actually, which is lovely to see. I think he was anyway. Still happy. great, just loves being signed, and I love that for you, Scott. Great, I'm going to book this show, and yeah, I'll be back in 1 second. And we're back with Snowstorm. We've got 2 pre-show matches starting us off tonight. We've got a tag team match of B-Boy and Mikey Henderson taking on Tony Jones and Yardy France, and then Chris Chetti taking on Brody Lee. We then have an opening promo of LeRae versus Del Rey before Candice LeRae takes on cheerleader Melissa. We then go straight into April Hunter versus Natty Neidhart. We then have Daivari saying that he wants to put Claudio behind him before a huge main event of Sean Daivari versus Claudio Castagnoli. Let's get into it. Opening tag team got a 52 rating. B-Boy got a 66. He is very good. And it is the Emerald champion who picks up the win, pinning Mikey Henderson. Tony Jones had a 44. The injury work took a big toll. Yardy France a 36, Mikey Henderson a 36, and as I said, B-Boy a 66. We then move into Chris Chetti versus Brody Lee, and this is basically, I just want to build up Brody Lee a little bit. So, yeah, nice quickish win for Brody Lee, getting a 35 rating, Chris Chetti a 38, and Brody Lee a 29. Now, we move into a pretty decent promo. Actually, Candice LeRae comes to the ring and says that she wants Sarah Del Rey at Showcase. The crowd erupts in boos as Sarah Del Rey comes out to the top of the entrance ramp, strangely for her, not dressed in her ring gear. Del Rey says that after last week, Candice is a threat to her safety, and she will only give her the match if she can defeat 2 hand-picked opponents over the next 2 months. Candice accepts when April Hunter's music plays, and she comes to meet Sarah Del Rey on the entrance ramp. She says that she's already helped dethrone one undeserving champion, and she wants the opportunity to do the same to another. Del Rey thinks for a moment and says that if they both win a match tonight, they can fight next month for the privilege of challenging her. It's got 38, loads of greens. Candice LeRae was terrible without a script. I knew that, but I also knew that Sarah Del Rey and April Hunter were better without one, so I 2 against 1. The women's title storyline gained heat, which you love to see. Got the show off to a strong start. We then had into Candice LeRae versus cheerleader Melissa. It was chaotic. It got the crowd going. It got a 29. Candice LeRae picks up the win with a moonsault press with a 26. Cheerleader Melissa got a 30. The chaos of the match helped hide how badly Candice LeRae was performing and helped hide how badly cheerleader Melissa was performing, which we haven't actually seen those in a while, which I think is a good sign that our women's division is growing a little bit. We then move into April Hunter's match, which gets a 34. April Hunter gets a 33. April Hunter picks up the win against Natty Neidhart with a Soldier Salt, which is a sick name for a move. April Hunter had an in-ring performance of 33. Natty Neidhart had a 35. They had great chemistry, and it showed in their performances, which you love to see. 34, which is not too shabby. We then head into Sean Daivari. A bit of a disappointing promo, to be honest. I thought this would be a little bit better. But Sean Daivari comes to the ring and says that he wants to put Claudio to bed for once and for all. He challenges Claudio. I forgot to add Claudio to this. Oh well. He challenges Claudio to a match in the main event, and only the winner can go on to challenge in the Proving Ground Battle Royal. He will prove that he is the better man, not only by winning tonight, but by winning the Battle Royal and becoming the new Emerald champion at Showcase. Claudio comes to the ring already in ring gear as a response. It's got a 35, number 1 newcomer storyline advanced, but lost heat, which is a shame. But hopefully this will bring it back up with a 44, which is actually a little bit worse than I was expecting. In about that had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. It is Sean Daivari who picks up the win by pinfall after using a foreign object. Maybe that's why it got a slightly lower rating. Sean Daivari got a 43 rating. Claudio Castagnoli got a 34. Number 1 newcomer just advanced. Sean Daivari was really off his game, but they do have great chemistry, which you love to see. This is going to be our worst show for a while, actually. 40 is not what we want to see. But next month, we've already got 2 matches. Signed, sealed, not quite delivered yet. Candice LeRae versus April Hunter, number 1 contenders match. And Sean Daivari will be a competitor in the Proving Ground Battle Royal. Can he make it 2 big he also won the Emerald Invitational this year. Can he make it 2 big event wins in 1 calendar year? We will just have to find out. Honestly, like a pretty poor show. Let's give April Hunter some praise, and let's give Sean Davari some praise. Just, yeah, not the best. April Hunter seemed pleased. Sean Davari was for happy. Only lost 261, which again, very good. And we did go up to 16, so hopefully we will be tiny in time for Showcase. I've always wanted to showcase something tiny. I couldn't stop myself. It was just right there. ROH Final Battle happened. Should we have a little look at that? Why can I not just click on those? Samoa Joe retained the championship, beating Ken Shamrock and Al Snow. Bryan Danielson defeated Nick Gage. Prophecy defeated Second City Saints. Jamal and Homicide defeated the Carnage Crew. Brian Kendrick defeated Ace Steel and Prince Nana. 63 overrated overall show, not overrated. Very well rated. Yeah, we are. How are we looking financially already? 425 at the moment, and we've still got over 1,000 to come in from our sponsors. So financially, we're looking pretty good at the moment. I am gonna sim forward to the 1st of January. We can then have a look at this month's finances and also do all of the year-end awards, both for the world at large and also our company. So I'll see you in just a second for that. And we're back. It is the 1st of January 2006. We got a little bit of news. End of year awards. Yep, Mike Rapada has been signed on a handshake deal. No worries. We've got some end of year awards to look at as well. So, male wrestler of the year is the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Female wrestler of the year is Joni Laura again. Company of the year, WWE. Male tag team is Team 3D. Female tag team is Amy Dumas and Dawn Marie. Match of the year was on SmackDown. Chris Benoit defeating Randy Orton. Show of the year was No Mercy. Male young wrestler of the year is Rene Dupree. Female young wrestler of the year is Jackie Gator. Is she in WWE? She is in WWE. I thought she was. Male veteran wrestler of the year is Ric Flair. Female wrestler of the year is Jacqueline Moore. Is she also still in WWE? She is. Most improved company of the year is Stampede Wrestling. Male independent wrestler of the year is AJ Styles. He's going to be way too expensive for us, yeah. But let's add him to the shortlist because I would just want to see what happens to him. Female independent wrestler of the year, Mickie James. She is in OVW, which means that she can't sign for us because it's WWE's developmental. But that's fine. Male manager of the year, Paul Heyman. Female manager of the year, Trish Stratus. Play-by-play commentator is JR. Color commentator is Jim Cornette. Female color commentator of the year is Amy Dumas. Male referee of the year is Jack Dwan. Female referee of the year is Jacqueline Moore. And that is all of the... I didn't realize that was the last one. I really didn't hype up then. It was like, and finally, the one everyone's been waiting for, referee of the year. So let's have a look at our awards. Male wrestler of the year is Claudio Castagnoli. That is crazy. Really? Okay, cool. Female wrestler of the year, obviously Sarah Del Rey. Match of the year is B-Boy and defeating Tony Jones at Shockwave, which got 70. Card of the year was Showcase, which you love to see. The biggest show of the year getting the biggest rating. Male manager of the year. He's not a manager though, right? Like he's not managing anyone unless he's a manager somewhere else. Yeah. Who knows? Anyway, female referee of the year is Christina McGraw, and those are all of our... Hey, we had more than last year. Last year I think we only had 3 awards, so not too shabby. Finance-wise, we made a little bit less than the month before, 971, but we paid a little bit more on workers, so it all evens out. We actually made less money from sponsors last month than we did the month before, but again, it's all to in and fro in. We are now just one lovely point away from being tiny. I cannot wait. We're now going to go forward to Proving Ground. We're going to have the Battle Royal and the women's number one contender match. So yeah, I'll see you in a sec. And we're back for Proving Ground. Big Battle Royal. It's going to be an expensive show, but we don't care. Mike Rapada has now joined New Japan on a touring contract. We looked at the end of year awards. Let's just get into it. Let's be tiny after this show. Come on, we got this. We're not going to give the night off to anyone. We are, of course, going to the Arco Recreation Hall. We're expecting 142 fans. So hopefully we now have 126. Yeah, that was much better. We were losing way more than we were actually gaining. Near certainty for anything there. And let's just grab another creative finish. Likely to succeed for anyone. Beautiful stuff. Locker room instance. Greg Valentine did training for 7 women and 8 men. Natty was brought before Wrestlers Court again. What is her... She's got driven. I mean, it literally says it right. Oh well. Sean Devore bright in the mood backstage. You love to see it. JJ Perez lifted the locker room when he organised and then won a video game tournament. Beautiful stuff. Let's pull a rib. Is anyone irritated? Yardy France is irritated. Let's pull a minor rib on him. Failed to provide any positive or negative impact. That's absolutely fine. So, last year we had B-Boy winning the Battle Royal. He then went on to Showcase. And then the show overall got a 44. So, hopefully, we can do better than that this year. 44 is the target to beat. I'm going to book the show. And I will be right back. And we're back. Just 3 matches on the show. You know, when you're doing a long Battle Royal, it really takes up the time. So one pre-show match of Natty Neidhart versus cheerleader Melissa, purely because I needed a storytelling match, or the fans would be angry at me. We then have the opening match of April Hunter versus Candice LeRae in the number one contenders match. Some post-match scenes, then the 10-man Battle Royal, which I am just realizing I have not put the Proving Ground Battle Royal Championship on the line for. And I don't want you to see who that is. So I'm just going to pause the recording real quick, do that, and we'll come back into the first match. So sorry about this. I'm so sorry. Okay, and here we are. And it is Natty Neidhart who picks up the win with the sharpshooter. She gets a 37, which is pretty decent. Cheerleader Melissa getting a 28, which again, pretty good. Just trying to really give the women many reps. I'll talk about why a bit later. But now we move on to the number one contendership match between Candice LeRae and April Hunter. Gets a 33, which is fine. But they did draw after a double pinfall. Both women hitting a big move on each other, falling sort of like over each other, both shoulders on the mat. Referee counts to 3. Both women think they've won, but it is in fact a draw. April Hunter gets a 34. Candice LeRae gets a 26. The women's title storyline advanced and gained heat, and the creative finish was a success, which you love to see. It's got a 33, like I said, so not terrible, but like when we're not putting Sarah Del Rey in matches, like the difference in rating is huge. We then move on to the post-match scenes where Sarah Del Rey gets up from ringside and proclaims that clearly, as it's a draw, they have both forfeited their opportunity next month at Showcase. But Greg Valentine comes to the entrance ramp and says that at Showcase, it will be a triple threat match for the championship. April Hunter versus Candice LeRae versus Sarah Del Rey. Segment got 39, which is pretty good. The women's storyline is heating up, which again, you love to see just before the biggest show of the year. Sarah Del Rey and Greg Valentine both worked the crowd well and improvised to their advantage, which is beautiful. Now, we're going into the huge 10-man main event. Gets a 40. That's fine. So we had Adam Pearce, Brody Lee, Chris Chetty, Yardy France, JJ Perez, Chaos, Mikey Henderson, Scott Lost in his debut, Sean Daivari, and Steve Bradley. And it is Sean Daivari who has won the Battle Royal in 30 minutes and 27 seconds, with Chaos being eliminated first, then Chris Chetty, then Mikey Henderson, then Scott Lost, Adam Pearce, Steve Bradley, Brody Lee, JJ Perez, meaning the final two is Sean Daivari and fan favourite, hopefully, maybe Yardy France. Yardy France just can't quite get it over the line, and Sean Daivari picks up the win and wins the Proving Ground Battle Royal. I think I messed this up slightly by putting it as a Steal the Show match, because it meant they had to go an all-out pace. I think I should have done this as a storytelling match, but I'll remember for next year. It got 40. Again, another pretty poor show from us. Scott Lost debuted his cocky gimmick and it got a rating of great. I wish there was a way to see the ratings of people in a larger match, but I don't think there is. If there is, please let me know, because I would love to see the ratings for all of these people. But yeah, we then move on to the final segment of the show, which is Sean Daivari and Tony Jones staring each other down. And that's our main event for Showcase. This angle got the crowd hotter. It got a 43. Again, a 39 show is the worst show we've had in maybe like a year, which is not very good. We're going to give Sean Daivari and Natty Neidhart some praise. Sean Daivari was very happy. Natty Neidhart seemed pleased. We're going to have lost not as much as I thought. Only 311 overall on this show. We have gone up to 17. We are officially no longer insignificant. We are teeny tiny. Hell yeah. It finally happened. It took almost 2 years of in-game time, but we've done it. And as we can see here, EMPW rise to tiny size. Look at the size. We're currently tiny. At this level, we're eligible to be part of regional battles where they hold shows. They are not able to sign workers to exclusive written deals and also not be expected. That's fine. So next up is small. We need to achieve 35 popularity in our home region. Does this make any difference to the broadcasting? I don't think so. No, it doesn't. But that's fine. Oh, it just feels good, doesn't it? Let's have a quick look at our top 100s, because I think, January 2006, 39. December 2005. Our last pretty good show was November. Battlesong, that was in this episode. Okay, it's not all been terrible this episode. The first one was pretty good. Hopefully, Showcase will be that. Will be a showcase of what we can do as a company moving forward. We can't develop, that's fine. What did I want to look at? Battles. Do we now have any regional battles? See, I don't really understand how this works, because are we right at the bottom? Oh, we're not right at the bottom, actually. We're pretty high up. Not pretty high up. We're in the middle. But yeah, I don't fully understand how that. Like, I've seen other people play this game and it looks completely different. I don't really know what I'm doing wrong, or if it's just because there aren't any other companies based here, so it looks like that. I don't really know. Because like Stampede was on here and they're not based in the Northwest. They're based in Canada somewhere. But yeah, contract overview actually I wanted to have a look at. So we've got quite a few contracts coming up in 77 days. I think that's going to be on the 4th of April. I think that's going to be a good time for a bit of a refresh. We've still got Scott Lost is still here for like 2 years, so is Natty Neidhart. A lot of people still here for about a year. But yeah, I think especially the women's roster, I think we need kind of an overhaul, and the lower card of the men's roster. We've built up quite a few good sort of main event level stars, I think, like Claudio and Sean Daivari, B-Boy and Tony Jones. But yeah, our women's division is just kind of Sarah Del Rey at the moment, which isn't ideal, but hey, what can you do? I am going to move forward to Showcase, and I will be back very shortly. I'll see you soon. And we're back. 19th of February 2006. It's time for Showcase. WLW has a financial warning. Stu Sanders has been hired by Noah. I need to look at that actually. Cindy Sin and Brody Lee have broken up. AJ Styles signs with 0-1 for one night. BCW have declared bankruptcy. That's not what you want to see. So let's have a quick little look at our production. Okay, so far we're not below the minimum for anyone. Are there any that we can upgrade? That costs 100 per night, 500 per night, 2,000 per night, and 500 and then 150. We could do the music. Why not? Let's upgrade. Let's get some generic music. It's going to cost us $100 per night, but that's fine. Finance-wise, we made $1,135 last month. This month, we're already making over 1,000, and we've got another 1,000-ish of sponsors to come in. Let's just get onto the show. I really hope this is a good show. I really hope. We're not going to give anyone the night off. We're probably going to do a lot of pre-show matches, just try and get everyone on the card, because it's the season finale. People get very annoyed if they're not booked. We're going to get 2 creative finishes, a near certainty, and a bit of a gamble. Okay. Laz entertained the locker room. Natty Neidhart brought before Wrestlers Court again. Vinny Massaro brought before Wrestlers Court. Greg Valentine did the pre-show training drills for 7 women and 8 men. And that is everything. And we should be able to inspire. Let's do it. Everyone is ready to give their absolute best performance. Last year, we got a 59 show. It's going to be tough to beat. That is still our best show ever. So, fingers crossed we can beat it. Not really sure if we can. I'm going to book the show. I'll be back in 1 second. We're back. Hello. We've got 2 pre-show matches. We've got a big 4v4 men's tag team match and then a big women's tag team match, again, just to get as many people on the card as possible. We then have our women's championship triple threat match, April Hunter versus Candice LeRae versus Sarah Del Rey, then some post-match scenes. We then go into a fatal 4-way for the number 1 contendership to the Emerald Championship. So Steve Bradley versus Yardy France versus Adam Pearce versus Mikey Henderson. Then have a little celebration for the winner before we go into the main event title match, Sean Daivari versus Tony Jones. Let's get into it. Lovely start. Oh my god, B-Boy got a 71. Anyway, sorry. So there is the team of Chris Chetti, Claudio Castagnoli, JJ Perez, and Scott Lost against B-Boy, Brody Lee, Chaos, and Vinny Massaro. And it is the heels who pick up the win when B-Boy pins JJ Perez with a Shining Wizard. B-Boy was head and shoulders above everyone else. He's got a 52. He really is. Scott Lost got a 54, actually, which is really good. JJ Perez, 33. Claudio, 44. Chris Chetti, 40. Vinny Massaro, 39. Chaos, 33. Brody Lee, 29. Chaos was off his game with his 33, although from his ratings, I don't think that's off his game. That feels quite normal. We've got 182 people here, by far our biggest attendance. You love to see it. We then move into the women's tag team match, which gets a 30, and it's Erica Porter and Natty Neidhart pick up the win when Natty Neidhart pins Miss Natural submits Miss Natural, with a sharpshooter. Natty and cheerleader Melissa both got a 33, but Natty was off her game. Erica Porter got a 28, and Miss Natural got a 23. We then move into the opening of the show, and we've got the triple threat matchup first for the Emerald Women's Championship. Yes! This gets a 50. And it is Sarah Del Rey who picks up the win. Do not read into who she pins. This is a Roman Reigns WrestleMania 38 when he pins both Edge and Daniel Bryan at once. This is that. Sarah Del Rey hits spike pile drivers on both April Hunter, Candice LeRae, and Candice LeRae, puts them on top of each other, pins them both, 1, 2, 3. Sarah Del Rey retains her Emerald Women's Championship, getting a 58 rating. Hell yeah. April Hunter got a 40, Candice LeRae only a 29. 40 from April Hunter is actually pretty good. Quite happy with that. The women's title storyline advanced and gained heat. The Sarah Del Rey creative finish was a success. Yeah, so, right, here's my thing. Initially, my plan was do a big build-up, write Candice LeRae off TV for her being injured, bring her back, and do a big babyface win, overcoming the obstacles. But I just can't take the title off of someone who is getting consistently like 50 plus ratings and put it on someone who's consistently getting ratings in the 20s. Like, I just can't do it. So Sarah Del Rey, the Athena of 2005, 2006, the forever champ, at the moment, I just, April Hunter getting a 40, Natty Neidhart has had some pretty good ratings as well. Maybe they're two people we need to kind of build up a little bit more. But yeah, I just, as much as I wanted to for like the storyline, I just like, I could. And then my initial thought when I set up the triple threat was to have Candice LeRae pin April Hunter, so Sarah Del Rey doesn't, get pinned, basically. She can kind of keep that. But again, I just can't take the belt off her when she's getting 58 rating. Amazing stuff. We then head into a promo where Sarah Del Rey has just pinned both challengers and she grabs a mic. She declares she is unstoppable and she wants some more competition. It's got a 37. She was very poor when trying to improvise dialogue. Normally she's pretty good, so hopefully that's just a one-off. And now we move into the number one contendership match for the Emerald Championship, and it gets another 50. Let's go. The bit of a gamble creative success was a finish, and it is Yardy France who picks up the win against Steve Bradley, Adam Pearce, and Mikey Henderson when he pins Mikey Henderson with a 450 splash. Some good ratings all round. Steve Bradley getting a 48, Yardy France getting a 47, Adam Pearce a 42, and Mikey Henderson a 40. Very consistent across the board there. Yardy France has been here since day one. It's about time, the fan favourite, maybe, I don't know, picks up a win, and a 50 is another very good performance. We then head into a promo. He improvised. I left it improvised, I wasn't really sure. France is celebrating massively in the ring, by far the biggest win of his young career. And he says that he will be watching the main event very closely, ready for any weakness that either man shows. Now, Shawn Daivari versus Tony Jones. Come on, let's have a big main event. 65, that'll do. And in about that had superb wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Shawn Daivari finishes. He makes good on his promise. He defeats Tony Jones in 14 minutes and 4 seconds with a flying leg drop. Shawn Daivari is the new Emerald Champion. You love to see it. 65 ranks. Shawn Daivari getting a 54. Tony Jones getting a 63. Number one newcomer storyline advanced and then ended. The creative success was a finish. 3 creative successes, all going off without a hitch. Amazing. This has got to be, I don't think it's going to be a 59, but it's got to be up there, right? Surely. 58. Honestly, after the last 2 shows, incredibly happy with this. Popularity has increased again in the Northwest. Let's give Shawn Daivari and Sarah Del Rey. I wish I could do 3. I would also do it to Yardy France, but I can't. Shawn Daivari was very happy. Sarah Del Rey was pleased. Financial report, we lost about the same as last month, 322. We did go up to 18 popularity in the Northwest. And I'm just glad. After the nightmare of the final show from the last episode, it wasn't a nightmare. The match still got a 61 rating. It's still objectively a very decent match. Still one of our best. But to end on a high note of new champion, you love to see it. Stu Sanders has joined now. Oh, we've got some opinions. Adam Pearce is turning into a good worker. He's worth getting behind. Erica Porter has poor ring psychology. She's probably worth not keeping around. You know what? I agree with you. So good. So lovely. We are So we've done our show and we're already at 659. We're still looking to make another 1,000 in sponsors. Merchandise is already up on last month by quite a significant margin. You love to see it. We're ticking along nicely. So yeah, new world champion. Thank you so much for watching. Gene Snitsky. He's only 30. Is he new? No, he's 9 years experience. He's just not very good. Thank you all so much for watching. If you've enjoyed the episode, please like and subscribe and all that stuff. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you think Yardy France is going to beat Sean Davari. Yeah. I think next episode we might do one less show, but spend a little bit of time just looking at like the popularity growth and the in-ring growth of our roster. And I think I'm going to go and sign a bunch of women that can come in and hopefully can just lift the division slightly. Because yeah, like getting like 20 ratings in matches and stuff is not ideal. I don't want to get rid of Cheerleader Melissa, but I think that's just because I signed her in an AEW save I did once on like whatever the last game was called, TEW9, I think. And I just had a good time having her, so I kind of want to keep her around purely for nostalgia reasons. But yeah, we're going to have some thinking. We're going to do maybe a bit of a roster shake-up. I think it's about time. And yeah, again, thank you all so much for watching. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you very shortly for the next episode. Goodbye.